Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video, we are going to determine our June 2025 TBR through our Alphabet TBR game. Hooray! So for May 2025 TBR, I decided to do something a little bit different. I didn't do the Alphabet TBR game, and I decided to, do or create a TBR out of my Everon subscription, because I just subscribe to Everon, and I decided to choose 4 books from Everon that I would like to read in May. And I discovered something. Apparently you can only read 1 book per month if you're using the basic subscription for Everon. So yeah, I ended up by force not being able to read the books in my Everon TBR in May 2025, but that is okay because May was my birth month, and I just want to relax, take it easy for my birth month, take it slow, just enjoy and kind of reward myself, and just read what I gotta read or read what I can read. So yep, we are going to tackle about my June 2025 TBR, and at the same time we'll just have a quick recap of the books that I read in May 2025. First, let's talk about the books that I read in May. Now, I finished Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. I read this through Everon, and I am currently reading Two for the Dough by Janet Ivanovich. I'm currently in the middle of it. As I mentioned, I'm currently reading it, and hopefully I get to finish it in May 2025.
Pick number 1. Letter V.
Letter V is series continuation, and I chose Gregor and the Prophecy of Pain by Suzanne Collins. Now, it's been years since I read the first book, but me, I like progressing. I don't necessarily feel the need or thinking of the need of rereading the first book, or even if it's been a while since I read them, or basically the previous book. I just move forward with the series. I know this has the story that's set on the the sewers, I believe, because it's the so-called underworld, and it has some what you call this, kind of subtle political, socio-political things going on. Maybe that's Suzanne Collins' thing. As Suzanne Collins wrote The Hunger Games, and I'd have to say that this is a less popular series of hers, and I definitely want to explore, especially when it comes to popular authors. I like exploring works that are not exactly their popular works, something that I want to know more about.
Pick number 2. Letter S.
Letter S is Spin the Wheel, and honestly, if you can watch the spinner wheel, it came so close to a book, and it's just it just leaped like tick, tick, and like in the last milliseconds it moved to like another book, and I super cannot believe that we are progressing with this series quickly. And who knows, maybe in 2025 I get to finish the Trials of the Apollo series, because I just end up, reading, or like these like TBRs ends up like me picking or somebody picking for me books in the Trials of the Apollo series. We are now heading to The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan, which is like the third book in the Trials of Apollo series. Now, the last book was, I have to say that this series so far is kind of just like fine compared to like the other series that Rick Riordan wrote. I don't know if it's a taste thing, or maybe that's just how like the books were crafted like later on now. Like his latter books have a different kind of like flavor compared to like the Heroes of the Olympus and the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I had a reading vlog, I don't think I've uploaded it yet as of the time I'm filming this, but I'll be uploading like the Dark Prophecy reading vlog sometime soon, so please subscribe to my channel so that you folks could be updated about that. But it was fine. I felt like it was adventurous, and I hope that this one is going to be much more intense, something that I will be like more invested in terms of the narrative. I'm not reading the one like at the back, like I'm not going to be reading the synopsis here in this video. I mean, you can look it up, you can, if you find this book, you can just like read it yourself. But for me, like my impression based on like the Burning Maze, are they going to be again in the labyrinth? Because I think they kind of did a little bit, or like touch on that, like in the Dark Prophecy in book 2 of the Trials of Paul series. So I guess I'm going to be reading a hard copy in June, figuring out how I'm going to be squeezing this in, because I'm going to be in an outing, like in a team building. I'm going to be traveling a bit, just a little bit, with my colleagues. So yeah, gotta figure out how I'm going to be prioritizing which books I should read first and then like the next. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, for Spin the Wheel, it chose The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan.
Pick number 4. Letter A.
Letter A is a book that doesn't start with an a, and, or the, basically any of the English articles. And I chose Night Road by Kristen Hanna. Now, I've read like previously The Nightingale, and I really loved it. It's very emotional. It was able to unleash emotions out of you the way that the narratives were written. They were captivating, and I'm looking forward to read another Kristen Hanna book, and I want to read a little bit more of her backlist, some of those that are not really popular, so I decided to choose this one.
Pick number 3. Letter C.
Letter C is Nature, the cover, and I ended up choosing The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. Now, I decided to pick one from my May 2025 Everon TBR, because now what I'm going to be doing with these monthly TBRs, I'm going to be choosing one book from Everon, because that's the maximum and the only one that I can consume per month, as I've mentioned earlier in this video. So I decided to check out when I was constructing this TBR, I aim to actually have at least one of those, or have an Everon read. And I chose this one because, as you can see in the shades, there are trees, so I would count that as like nature in the cover. And this, like I mentioned, like in the Everon TBR video, that this has something to do with the early 90s Rodney King riots. And I've been wanting to read this one for a while. I wanted to read it in May, but due to some circumstances, I'm going to read it in June instead. Since my last Alphabet TBR, game was in April, basically the last time where my TBR was constructed by the Alphabet TBR game was in April, I decided not to take like any punishments for like letters that were already picked in April. But like I said, in case that I get to pick like consecutive letters, like I pick letters next to each other consecutively. For example, if I pick letter A and then I pick letter B, then I would add like another pick. Or if I pick letter Z and I pick letter Y, then I would have like another pick or add another pick, maybe a book, who knows. But yeah, but if it's like letter Z and then letter A and vice versa, then there won't be any additional picks. Or if I happen to pick like the letters in like the, for example, I pick letter A for the first pick and I pick letter B in the third pick, that wouldn't count. So yeah, I forgot to tell the rules earlier. I was so caught up with like just sharing because I know that I wasn't able to finish my May 2025 Everon TBR, but that's okay, it's kind of like me treating myself to like slow down a bit, y'all, slow down a bit. But yeah, those are like some of the rules, or those are the rules typically for the Alphabet TBR game. So yeah, we will, I'll implement them in the next month, in July 2025 TBR, which is like going to be like the anniversary of the Alphabet TBR games. Oh my goodness, like time flew by so quickly. Like honestly, it's already like nearly half the year. It's going to be June. 2025 is zooming. Time is really ticking really quickly. So yeah, basically the if I get to pick like for my July 2025 TBR, if it's already included, like the letter that was picked is already included in my June 2025 TBR, or if I pick like letters next to each other consecutively, I'm going to add a pick. So we'll find out in July 2025. Feel free to comment down below the books that you plan to read in June 2025, or want to read, or maybe read, or thinking about reading in June 2025. And also feel free to share your pile, or feel free to share just even simply a book. Now, if you're more of like a mood reader, or you don't do TBRs or want to reads or maybe reads, feel free to comment down below the book that is like on the top of your head, like that you want to like just share, basically. Whether you want to acquire it, whether you want to read it, or just something that like popped in your head. Okay? And if you've made it this far, leave a tulips emoji. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.